Hey guys, welcome to Sagaran Village. Hi, how are you guys? Good? All right. Residents of Sagaran Village, just hanging out. Oh, check this out. What is that? What does this guy got? Hi. Look at this guy selling bakso, some rice and bakso and eggs. Oh, this looks awesome. Hi guys. Hi. Nice shop. Saya suka toko kalian. Very nice. Hi, mister. This guy sells cups and sponges and stuff. He's got all kinds of stuff for sale. This lady's here to buy stuff. All right, see you guys. I'm on my way. All right, thank you. Nice to meet you. Senang bertemu. All right, hey, check this out. All this rice paddy. Sagaran Village. Isn't that cool? Palm trees, some banana palms over there. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good, good. Nice. Look at all these vegetables. Chabe.
Chili.
Look at that. Yeah, chabe, chili. Yeah, people would come to buy this stuff. People would come from all over the world. India, China. Come here just for chabe.
I'm from
America.
America.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Eric.
Ridwan.
Jigwa?
Ridwan.
Didwan. Nice to meet you, Didwan. All right, see ya. Yeah, Sagaran Village.
Hello, Mr.
Hey, mister. This is a Hello Mister town. I love Hello Mister towns. Hi, lady. Nice looking Ibu. There's Ibus all over the place. You gotta love a town with a lot of Ibus. But anyway, yeah, we're in Sagaran Village. And I'm here today because I want to tell you a little story about something that happened here 1,500 years ago. I want to tell you about what culture was like 1,500 years ago in the Taruma Kingdom. Maybe share just a little bit, maybe we can get just a little picture of what it might have been like to live in the Taruma Kingdom back in 500 AD. Oh, look at this guy with all his kalapa. Hey, cool. Lots. Banyak kalapa. Hi, guys. It's my friends. Teman-teman saya. Hi. Hi. Hi guys. Apa kabar? Good. Bye. Look at this bridge. I wonder if we can walk across it. You think? Whoa. Look at that. Yeah, I can totally walk across this, maybe. Check that out. Look at this. Beautiful house, orange tiled roof. So let me give you a little bit of origin on this story, because even though we're in Sagaran Village, this story kind of originates sort of in Jakarta. So there's a kingdom that gets formed. There's all these people who practice animism living in Jakarta. They get visited by an Indian dude named Dawawarman. Dawawarman converts some of the people to Hinduism. It becomes a Hindu kingdom. Anakitiram is their first sort of king. Later there's a rift in the kingdom, and the Taruma Kingdom moves east into a place called Sunda Pura, a little bit further east, and the Salaka Kingdom stays in Jakarta. The Taruma Kingdom's power and influence would start growing and expanding, and pretty soon their influence spanned from all the way to the Sunda Strait in the west to, on the east side, way past here, way past Sagaran Village, and all the way, maybe not to Cirebon, but maybe halfway to Cirebon. So this village, Sagaran Village, was definitely within the Taruma Kingdom. Farmland, obviously, as you can see, people have been farming here for thousands of years, farming rice like right there in this sort of swampy marshland. Look at those guys farming over there. And that guy. Hi, mister. How are you? High five. Yay, thank you. See you. Foto.
Ayo, fotoin.
Oh, fotoin. Ini
Oh, look at this.
1, 2, 3. Dah.
Lagi apa?
All right.
Lagi.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3. Dah.
Oke.
Thank you. Thank you. Check that out, though. Guys still tilling the land. Man, I used to do that when I was a boy. Working a rototiller by hand. Hard to believe, but I mean, it wasn't that long ago. My grandpa had me out on his farm tilling land just like that. Now check this out. This beautiful paddy here, the sawa. People have been farming this land, like I mentioned, for thousands of years. Recently, well, relatively recently, maybe, I don't know, 50 years or so ago, people that farm this area noticed that there would be these hills, these mounds in the rice paddy, in the sawa. And they see these mounds and they, you know, it wouldn't bother them. They would just kind of farm around it. And then one day these archaeologists show up. These archaeologists show up and they're like, what's underneath these mounds? We got to investigate this. Let's dig a test pit, see what's under there. And if there's anything interesting, we'll excavate, we'll spend some resources and figure out what's under there. And what they discover is this. Terima kasih.
From Jakarta.
Wah, Amerika. Kamu tinggal di sini di
Jaga.
Segaran?
Ya, betul.
Ya, cool, keren.
Wih.
Ya, saya dari Amerika.
Segarang, nah segaran.
Ya, saya dari Segaran. Ya.
Oh, segaran.
No, tidak. Check that out. That was what was under the Unur. This sort of temple. It's hard to tell from this angle, but up at the top of that is those bricks up there are kind of formed in the shape of a lotus flower. And on top of that lotus flower would have been a stupa, so with like a Buddha sitting up on the center of that. Hi. Hi. Apa kabar? Good.
Foto, Mister.
Oh, okay, sure.
Oke, ayo.
Hey, where are you? Look.
Gantian mau, gantian.
Yeah. So you can imagine if you were a farmer out here, farming in this rice paddy back then, and looking back at this, you would see this Buddha sitting on a lotus flower, sort of floating above the rest of the rice paddy. And not only that, they believe this was stuccoed over. There's some limestone mountains to the south of here, and they would have brought that limestone up here, burnt it, created stucco out of it, and then stuccoed the whole thing. So you'd have this beautiful floating Buddha, all stuccoed, just kind of floating above the rice paddy. Must have been pretty incredible looking. Good, how are you? Hi, kitty. Hi. So, the archaeologists that came here to dig were able to also carbon date here. They did some carbon dating, and the dates that came back were about 500, between 500 AD and 600 AD. They also found some other items here besides the temples. They found some beads and potsherds, and some of those were able to be traced back to a kingdom in India, and the dates of that kingdom correspond to the radiocarbon dates. So those dates kind of solidified the 500 to 600 AD year. So they're pretty sure at this point that these buildings, these structures, that temple, the temple we're coming up on, they're pretty confident that those were built between 500 and 600 AD. If those dates are correct, that makes this the oldest temple in Java. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Look at those. What are those? All of a sudden I have a desire to eat one. Oh look, there's a red one. That looks yummy. Hi. YouTube? Yeah? Saya juga. What is your channel? Nama Malisti?
Yes. How Mr.
Hi, I'm Eric. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So check that out. That would have been like, this would have been like a temple. And again, the carbon dating and other dating methods that they used put the date on this to about between 500 AD and 600 AD, which means it's the oldest temple in Java. Then that means it was built during the reign of the last few Taruma kings. So somewhere between like King Suryawarman and King Lingawarman. And if you choose, say, King Suryawarman, he's the guy that moved the capital of the Taruma Kingdom from Sunda Pura further east, meaning that these were built right close to the capital, the Taruma Kingdom capital. So now we have this being built solidly within the time of the Taruma Kingdom, solidly within the boundaries of the Taruma Kingdom, and it's Buddhist. Hi, mister. Apa kabar? Good, good. I mean, we can't go up there, but back in the day, people would come here to come worship. And you can see, for example, from these bricks, these are clay bricks. These are not like, you know, if you go to Prambanan and you see the volcanic stone, that's not what these are. These are organic bricks made out of clay and rice husk. Halo. Apa kabar?
Pengen foto berdua.
Foto?
Udah ya. Berdua.
Oh, okay, see, yeah. Like this?
Foto lagi sini. Mana?
Wow.
Wow.
Saya tinggi sekali ya. Awesome, cool. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you, mister. Thank you. Hi. What's that?
Take picture.
You want to take a picture? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
The black shirt gang. All right, cool. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Yeah. See you.
How cool, huh? Look how beautiful this place is too. Look at this. You got this guy over here like doing some farming. You got a ton of people back there that you probably can't see doing farming. And then you got all this palm trees, rice paddy everywhere. It's just really pretty up here. Look at this little makeshift bridge. Step out of the mud. Apaan itu? Ah, okay. Tidak untuk kung fu. No. Okay.
Sir.
Hah?
Kembali. Come.
Saya bisa lihat itu?
Bisa.
Okay, cool.
Please.
All right, thank you. So check this out. This is what I was talking about with the bricks. These are like clay bricks. Look at that, and they would mix in, you can probably see, I don't know if that's just coincidence that that's there, but they would mix in rice chaff to fire them. It would help in the firing process of these bricks. Check that out. Got someone out there, I don't know what they're doing something, wandering around in the rice paddy. All this rice growing here. You got a mosque, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that's absolutely beautiful. You got the sun setting right here. And then down to that beautiful mosque off in the distance. Wow, what a beautiful place. What a beautiful place indeed. So beautiful that it would attract people from all over. As I mentioned earlier, people would come here to trade, and they've been coming here to trade for thousands of years. One guy that came here actually kind of stopped on his way to India. He was a Chinese guy, sailed out of China, heading towards India. His name was Fashian. And he stopped here, right here in the Taruma Kingdom. Maybe not right here, but within the boundaries of the Taruma Kingdom. And he wrote down in his book that there were Buddhists living here. He was Buddhist, so he was obviously excited about that. And he wrote in his journal, hey, I got to the Taruma Kingdom and I saw that there was Hindus, of course, but there was also Buddhist people living there. And people who still practice animism, which was the original religion before the new kings started showing up. So before you really want to know that story, you got to go back to King Dawawarman, or Dawawarman before he was king. You got to go back to an Indian guy named Dawawarman that landed in Jakarta in 130 AD, met up with a guy named Aki Tirem, and they formed the first kingdom here, the Salaka Kingdom. That guy was Hindu, Dawawarman. Dawawarman and Aki formed the first kingdom, and they start the conversion of the people of the area to Hinduism. So I'll tell you, you don't really get to see an environment like this in Jakarta. You got some sheep, goats hanging out here, sheep, goat, or two sheeps hanging out over there. You got this temple, this old Taruma Kingdom temple hanging out off in the distance. And then you have all of this rice paddy, all of this sawah. Hi gentlemen, how are you? Hi. Apa kabar?
Tertinggi itu, tanah tinggi ini.
Saya bisa pergi ke sana?
Ini, sini.
Ini? Okay. For photo of itu?
Terputus di bagian sawah, tengah sawah itu terputus.
Cool. Terima kasih ya. Okay. See you. All right, those nice gentlemen just told me we can go down here and get a nice photo. So look at that. What a beautiful view, huh? You've got all this village, palm trees, you've got the sawah, right, the rice paddies. You got farmers you probably won't be able to see, but there's farmers farming off in the distance there by that little village. And then you sweep the camera over here and you see that beautiful temple. Look at that. Beautiful. What a beautiful place this must have been, huh, back in the day? I mean, it's still beautiful today, but imagine 1,500 years ago, if you were here in the Taruma Kingdom, man, must have been just really cool. Pretty cool, huh? And imagine like 500 AD, King Suryawarman's living here. Hi. Apa kabar? Where are you? Saya banyak tinggi ya. Here, I go like this.
Iya aja nih, itu mah apa tuh namanya? Gelap, apa tuh namanya? Makasih.
You're welcome. Sama-sama. Sama-sama.
Banyak tuh channel YouTube.
Nice to meet you.
Channel YouTube-nya apa?
Let's Just Wander. Channel kecil. Here, you want me to type it?
HP.
Hi. How are you? Apa kabar? Good. Nice to meet you. I'm Eric.
Iya,
Eric.
siap, Pak.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yuk, gini, Pak.
Yeah. Photo?
Iya, foto.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oke.
Cool. All right.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Oke.
All right.
Siap.
Nice to meet you guys.
Oke.
See you.
Oke, Pak.
Pretty cool, huh? So, 500 AD. So, somewhere near here, King Suryawarman's living, because he moved the capital out of Sunda Pura a little bit closer to here. King Suryawarman, his family, all his close circle of friends, they're all Hindu. Then you've got the people that live here, they're all Buddhist. And according to Fashion, the Chinese guy that visited the Taruma Kingdom, there were still people who practiced animism living here. All this going on 1,500 years ago. You've got Hindus, Buddhists, animists. You've got Javanese people. You've got Chinese people. You've got Indians. We know Indians migrated here. All of this different background, people from different backgrounds, people from different religions, all living together harmoniously under one nation, the Taruma Kingdom. That's pretty cool. Me too, me too. Yay! Thank you. All right, lots of selfies, lots of fun. Sun looks like it's setting. Sun looks like it's about to start setting. We better get out of here. Also looks like there might be a storm rolling in. We'll see.